What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and just in case you didn't know, the Shaddoll deck just got really good support in Terminal World 3. There were two waves, so the first one had Void Liberation as well as Race Shaddoll Wendy Kuru. I had no idea what the hell the freaking name of the card was, and honestly, I couldn't care less. And also, there was a new card that just came out like a few days ago, by the name of Shaddoll Fusion. I think it's more like a week ago. And yeah, this card is completely cracked. It is a custom card for the deck. The only small microscopic little drawback is that during the turn you activate either of these effects, you can only summon Shaddoll monsters from the extra deck, which is kind of annoying. If it didn't have that restriction, it would be the nuts. And this deck wouldn't be like a, a fun, cute little, decent competitive deck. It would be tier 0. But yeah, what I'm showing right now, I will be fully honest and say I don't really think this is going to be completely game-breaking, but I do think this is a very good deck nonetheless. And most importantly, it is a very fun deck, and it has a lot of potential. So over time, I think this deck is going to be getting a little better. But even right now, I still think it is a decent deck when we're going to be getting the new support from Terminal World 3. So yeah, I will be going over the deck list as well as some combos. But before we go any further, you already know the drill. Smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm playing, I believe, 16 one-card starters. So 3 Armageddon Knight with 3 Mathematician. They do the exact same thing. You are typically sending Shaddoll Squamata so that you can send the Grista. By the way, this is one of the other new cards that came out in the first wave of support. I completely forgot to mention it, so my bad. But yeah, Grista is completely cracked. It's kind of like, like the DDD that fuses, kind of. Whenever it's sent to the graveyard, it's just like a miracle fusion. Fuses using like the hand, field, and graveyard. And yeah, it summons any Shaddoll fusion monster. You can only use one of the 2 effects per turn, only ones that turn, which is really frustrating, just like the other Shaddoll monsters. I hate that restriction. It would have been so good if it didn't have that, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. Very good card. You're going to be able to make the El Shaddoll Mishra Rel whatever with this card, as well as the Squamata and either one of your normal summons, because you need a Shaddoll, a Dark, and an Earth. So this is the Earth, this is the Dark, and this is the Dark or the Earth, so that this can be the Shaddoll instead, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, either one of these normal summons will lead to the exact same end board. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Obviously, Mathematician is a little better, because just in case you're going second and you get Veilered or Impermanent, whatever, you can go Battle Phase, Crash, draw a card, and maybe you just win the lottery and you draw one of your other broken cards you could potentially dig into. Anyways, now we also have 3 Nadira Servant with 3 Left Shaddoll Fusion. You can do some really nasty things with these cards without having to use a normal summon, because one of the main problems that I had with, the way people were playing this deck was that you just had too many normal summons in it. And it really is understandable, it's a problem that this deck always kind of had. Like, you just have a lot of Shaddoll, like, the Shaddoll monsters, they basically just all suck to draw, unless you draw, like, El Shaddoll Fusion or Shaddoll Fusion, so that you can actually use them, or Void Liberation now, so that now drawing them now is like not like the end of the world. Nadira Servant just gives you more pushes, and also we are playing the Fallen the Virtuous with the Albion the Branded Dragon and Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, and also Inferno the Evil, but yeah, that's irrelevant with Nadir. It is relevant with Maximus though, and when you send your Inferno the Evil, you can search a Void spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That can be the Void Liberation. So yeah, this is searchable either by Inferno the Evil or by El Shaddoll Mesh something. Yeah, there you go. Left Shaddoll Fusion, this card is cracked, another 1-card starter, and then the Void Liberation. If you got this and a Shaddoll card, it's a 1-card starter. By itself, it doesn't do anything. And then Foolish Burial, it's a semi 1-card starter. It doesn't technically do anything just by itself. I mean, it kind of does. Yeah, it makes Winda, but that's pretty much it. Anyways, for the for the cards that are not, they do nothing on their own. They're not bricks. It's just that they do nothing on their own. 2 Grista, 2 Squamata, 2 Race Shaddoll Wendy, and then 1 Ariel, 1 Beast, 2 Hedgehog, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Maximus. I think I like these ratios quite a lot. I wouldn't really change anything right now. If you've got any feedback, I mean, I'd obviously appreciate it. But right now we're playing 5 Darks. Dark is the best attribute for Shaddoll because it makes the best monster, which is Winda. But we also play 2 Grista because that's the Miracle Fusion. That's the one of the most important ones now. And also Race Shaddoll Wendy, special summoning from deck. That's not too bad. There's definitely a world in which you can cut this down to 1. And yeah, the Ariel, you do need it for one of your combos, so I do think it's needed. And then yeah, these 2 monsters with Nadira Servant, pretty good. The synergy is definitely real here. And there's 3 Shaddoll Fusion with 1 El Shaddoll Fusion, 1 Race Shaddoll Incarnation, which is also needed in one of the combos, 1 Shaddoll Schism. It's just a given. Ever since this card came out, it's always been one of the best cards that you can play in the deck. And then yeah, 3 Super Poly and 3 Fallen and Virtuous. So yeah, 40 cards, no hand traps. This is basically like a board breaker deck, but you are trying to go first and just set up Winda and lock your opponent out of the game. For the extra deck, we're playing 12 Shaddoll monsters because those are the only monsters that you can realistically summon, because we're always locked under Shaddolls only from the extra deck. So 3 Mesh Rail, whatever, 2 Construct, 2 Al Capone, 2 Winda, and then 1 Shekinaga, 1 Wendy Kerhu. Hold on, Wendy Kerhu. Bro, what are these names? And then 1 Shaddoll Construct. There we go. Shoutouts to, I think, Alpe. He accidentally wrote Shaddoll Construct instead of El Shaddoll Construct in his deck list, and he was forced to play 3 copies of this instead of this or something back during the Shaddoll invoked days. And yeah, that turned his deck from good to unplayable at the speed of light. But this card is actually good in this deck, so you're like unironically making Shaddoll Construct, not just El Shaddoll Construct. And yeah, for the other cards, Infernoid Evil, Albion the Branded Dragon, and Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, you are not summoning these cards. You're just sending them, Infernoid Evil, either off of the left Shaddoll Fusion or off of Maximus. And then these 2 cards, again, also either off of Maximus or off of Nadir Servant or off of left Shaddoll Fusion. Left Shaddoll Fusion can only send a fusion, so you can send Albion, but you can't send Ecclesia of the Black Dragon, which is irrelevant because Albion is better to send anyway, so who cares? And also Fallen Virtuous is sending these 2 cards, so that's a given. And the graveyard effect of Ecclesia of the Black Dragon does matter because you can shuffle back your cards so that you always have fuel for your Fallen Virtuous, and you're also like shuffling back an opponent's card, so it's like an extra, not interruption because it's not a quick effect, the graveyard effect, but it is an extra removal, so that's pretty nice. And for the idea section, I'm not gonna go over everything, but yeah, if you want like more interesting spice, I mean, Dragontail 5 mana is actually worth considering just in case you want to summon a turn 0 Wind on your opponent's turn. It's not too bad. It's just that, again, like you can't really summon non-Shaddoll monsters most of the time, and also it's not even for the rest of the turn, it's like the whole turn, which is the main issue with the new wave of support. But yeah, some more Shaddoll monsters if you want more bricks and if you want to die more often. Don't really recommend that. Some more Shaddoll fusion monsters like a second Shekinaga, really not needed. Anoyatilis, absolutely irrelevant. It doesn't do shit, except if it's like a Necros format or something. El Shaddoll Grista, it's actually not too bad. And also, I was considering Grista because if you can summon it on your opponent's turn using Schism by banishing Evil, Evil will trigger to search another Void Liberation, giving you more follow-up. So it's not too bad. Anyways, 1 Garura with 1 Muddragon for Super Poly. Right now, Super Poly is only really making your Shaddoll fusion monsters, which is a little unfortunate, so that's the reason why these cards would definitely be appreciated. And then another copy of the Wendy Kerhu. It's actually a good card, you know? And then 1 more Shaddoll Construct, and Ultimate Slayer can be a decent card as well. If you can fit in like the Trap Brigade, the Link 2 monster, the Book of Moon, that way you would have like more diversity with your Ultimate Slayer. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into the combos. Okay, so combo number 1, this is what you can do when you only have Mathematician or Armageddon Knight. It's the exact same sequencing. So you have normal summon, then you're going to be sending the Hound. The Hound is going to be sending the Grista, and you're going to be fusing away for the Mesh Rail. You have no Shaddoll cards in the graveyard now, so obviously you're going to be using the left Shaddoll Fusion to tribute it. You won't be able to revive back a monster. Therefore, the combos get infinitely better when you have Mathematician and another Shaddoll card. But let's just say you don't, you can still play and do a lot here. So you can go for left Shaddoll Fusion, send the Evil off of it, and that is going to be able to search for the Void Liberation. And then we are going -1 technically, because we're going left Shaddoll Fusion, summon Construct, and we're missing out on the effect to revive back a Shaddoll, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Construct is going to be dumping the Hedgehog. Hedgehog is going to be searching for the Wendy, and then Void Liberation reveal, so you can search 2 Shaddoll cards, 1 spell, and 1 trap because we revealed a monster. And then we got to discard 1 of our cards in our hand. So we are just going to be discarding that Wendy. And Wendy is going to be special summoning the Squamata from deck. And we're going to call it a turn. This is way more than enough because on the opponent's turn, we can do so much here. We can go Shaddoll Fusion, well, El Shaddoll Fusion into Construct or whatever El Capone. And then we can trigger the Construct as well as the Construct and the Squamata. So recycle back the El Shaddoll Fusion, Squamata send whatever, and El Shaddoll Construct send the Grista, so, or the other way around, that's why I said whatever. So yeah, we can trigger the Wendy to summon Ariel or literally anything from the deck, doesn't really matter too much. And the Grista is going to be able to fuse for Winda number 1. And even if the opponent has an out to it, like Imperm, doesn't really matter too much because we can make another Winda. So this is double Winda setup plus a lot of monsters, which is really nice, it just looks good. And by the way, the Shaddoll Schism can also be an interruption because if you're summoning like a dark, you can send like a dark monster upon controls to the graveyard. So You can send to the graveyard one monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as the fusion summon monster. There you go. I'm literally just reading it verbatim. Anyways, that's it for combo number 1. Let's get into combo number 2 now. So this time we have normal summon. So if you, let's say, when normal summon Armageddon Knight or Mathematician and you got impermed, it's actually a great thing for you because the left Shaddoll Fusion is going to be able to be a full recovery from here. So activate that, and you're going to be sending the Apkalone, search the Squamata, and then discard that, send the Grista, and then fuse away for the Mesh Rail, and then search for the Void Liberation, and then tribute it to summon the Construct. So this sequencing is very similar to like combo number 1, but it's going to be getting a little different real soon. So again, we're going to be searching for the Wendy as well as the we're searching El Shaddoll Fusion as well as the Schism by revealing the Wendy, but we're not discarding the Wendy. We're discarding the Schism, and then we're using El Shaddoll Fusion to fuse away the Wendy as well as the Mesh Rail in order to make, the Construct, in order to make the Wendy Kurhu. And we're going to be triggering the Construct as well as the Wendy to special summon the Ariel from deck. And Construct is going to be recycling back that Schism. And the Wendy Kurhu is, if I can compare it to like the Prediction Princess or whatever, it unbooks a monster. It's like a book of Taiware, I believe, like a Sol and Luna actually. So you flip your monster face down, and then you can flip other monsters on the field that are face up to face down, and it is a quick effect, so you can be an interruption on your opponent's turn, and also a good way of triggering your Shaddoll monsters effects on the opponent's turn, so you can trigger like a Squamata to destroy a monster, which is really nice. It's like back in the days we had Sinister Shadow games to do this. Now we have the Wendy Kurhu. Anyways, the Ariel is going to be reviving back the Squamata from the Banished, and now we're going to be linking both off into Shaddoll Construct. And Construct is going to be fusing with the Wendy Kurhu to make a Construct. Well, an El Shaddoll Construct. And now we're going to be going Chilling 1, Chilling 2. So the Wendy Kurhu is going to be recycling back the Squamata, and the El Shaddoll Construct is going to be dumping kind of whatever, the Red Shaddoll Incarnation, I guess. Or Shaddoll Beast, so you can draw a card. And then we're going to be pitching the El Shaddoll Construct to revive back the Shaddoll Construct so that you can trigger the El Shaddoll Construct to recycle back the El Shaddoll Fusion. And at this point, you would have a lot of plays here. So on your opponent's turn, you can flip the El Shaddoll Fusion, fuse away these two monsters into a Winda, and then Squamata triggers, send Wendy, whatever, special summon a monster from deck. Your opponent outs the Winda, it's fine. You can still use the Red Shaddoll Incarnation to flip whatever monster you summon off of El Shaddoll Wendy, and then gets its effect off. So if you play like Shaddoll Dragon, you can bounce back an opponent's monster. And then you still have Schism to summon another Winda. So it's a double Winda setup, but you're doing it on the opponent's turn. It's a little unfortunate how you're not making Omni Negates and you're playing a lot on the opponent's turn, so if you do get hit by a card like Evenly, it will be devastating. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. You know, eventually down the line, we're going to have an Omni Negate for Shaddoll. Anyways, let's get into combo number 3 now. Okay, so in this combo, we're not special summoning a single monster from the extra deck, or at least on the very first turn, but that doesn't mean that we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So activating the Deer Servant, dump the Apkalone, and then search the Maximus. Apkalone is going to be searching the Schism. Yeah, a little weird here, because we can't fuse with the Grista, so might as well just play differently. And yeah, banish the Apkalone, summon the Maximus. Maximus is going to be dumping Inferno the Evil, as well as the War Shaddoll monster in your extra deck, so Shekinaga to recycle back the Schism. And Evil is going to be searching the Void Liberation, and then reveal the Schism in order to search a monster and a spell. The monster is going to be Squamata, just so that we fuel the graveyard a little more, because we do need a lot of names for Schism to be live. And we're going to be searching the left Shaddoll Fusion as well. And the Squamata is dumping the Wendy. Wendy is going to be summoning the Shaddoll Beast, because there's nothing else to do at this point. And then left Shaddoll Fusion is going to be dumping Albion. Albion is going to be getting the end phase search for the Fallen Virtuous. And we're playing a lot on the opponent's turn here, because we obviously have the Shaddoll Schism and the Fallen Virtuous, which is dumping the Synchro, destroy a card, etc, blah blah blah. And the Shaddoll Beast is eventually going to be flipping itself to draw 2 cards, discard 1. We're not doing that many things, but still, it is Winda plus a pop, which is not too bad. And obviously follow-up, you know, I will definitely take it. But yeah, that's it for this combo video and deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about the new Shaddoll support in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.